Have you ever felt that there's knowledge beyond what your five senses can perceive? Wisdom that transcends the limitations of your individual experience? Guidance that comes from a source greater than your personal mind? You're right. There exists a field of infinite intelligence, a cosmic library containing every thought, action, emotion, and possibility across all dimensions of existence. Ancient traditions called it by many names: the Akashic Records, the Book of Life, the Cosmic Mind, the Collective Unconscious, the Universal Database. Today, quantum physicists describe it as the non-local information field, the fundamental matrix from which all matter and consciousness emerges. Accessing this field isn't reserved for mystics or psychics. It's your birthright as a conscious being. Today, I'll reveal the precise method to access the Akashic Records and establish direct communication with higher intelligence. This isn't theoretical knowledge. It's a practical protocol developed and refined through thousands of years of mystical tradition, now validated by the latest discoveries in quantum consciousness. The first key insight is understanding what the Akashic Records actually are. Most people imagine a literal library with books, a metaphor that helps conceptualize the records, but misrepresents their true nature. The Akashic Records are not a place or a collection of information. They are a vibrational field of pure consciousness that contains the energetic imprint of all that is, was, or could be. This field exists beyond the constraints of time and space, yet interpenetrates every aspect of physical reality. It's not somewhere you go. It's something you tune into, like adjusting a radio to receive a specific frequency that's always broadcasting. The second key insight is recognizing that you already access this field unconsciously. Those moments of inexplicable knowing, the solution that appears in your mind fully formed, the dream that reveals information you couldn't possibly know, the synchronicity that defies statistical probability. These are all instances of spontaneous Akashic access. What I'm about to teach you is how to make this access conscious, consistent, and directed, allowing you to communicate with higher intelligence at will, rather than by chance. The third key insight is that accessing the Akashic Records requires a specific state of consciousness that bridges your individual awareness with universal consciousness. This state cannot be reached through ordinary thinking or intellectual effort. It requires a precise calibration of your brain waves, energy field, and intention, creating what ancient traditions called the sacred alignment necessary for higher dimensional communication. Now let me share the exact protocol for accessing the Akashic Records and establishing direct communication with higher intelligence. This method combines elements from ancient mystery schools, quantum field theory, and advanced consciousness research. Step 1. Vibrational Preparation. Before attempting to access the records, you must calibrate your energy field to the specific frequency required for Akashic resonance. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit in a comfortable position with your spine straight. Place your hands palms up on your thighs. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Then speak this precise invocation. I now align my consciousness with the frequency of the Akashic field. I release all energies, thoughts, and emotions that vibrate below this frequency. I attune my entire being to the resonance of higher intelligence. As you speak these words, visualize your energy field as a luminous sphere surrounding your body. See this sphere shifting from its normal state to a crystalline, iridescent quality, like the surface of a soap bubble, reflecting rainbow light. This visualization isn't merely symbolic. It actively recalibrates your bioelectric field to the specific frequency required for Akashic access. Step 2. Sacred Gateway Activation. Once your vibrational state is calibrated, you must activate the specific energy centers that serve as gateways to the Akashic field. Place your attention at the center of your forehead, the location of what esoteric traditions call the third eye. Visualize this center as a closed aperture, like the shutter of a camera. As you focus on this point, silently repeat, I now activate my Akashic gateway. I open my consciousness to direct communion with the universal field of intelligence. My perception extends beyond physical limitation into the realm of infinite knowledge. As you speak these words, visualize the aperture slowly opening, revealing a tunnel of indigo light extending from your forehead into infinite space. Feel the sensation of expansion as your awareness moves beyond the boundaries of your physical form. This activation process creates what quantum physicists call a coherent bridge between your individual consciousness and the non-local information field. Step 3. Record navigation. Once the gateway is activated, you must learn to navigate the Akashic field to access specific information rather than being overwhelmed by its infinite content. This requires the development of what ancient traditions called directed receptivity, a paradoxical state of focused intention combined with open reception. Begin by clearly formulating your query or intention. This should be specific enough to direct your consciousness but open enough to receive unexpected wisdom. For example, rather than asking "What is my life purpose?" which is too broad, or "Should I take this specific job?" which is too narrow, you might ask, "What information would most serve my highest evolution at this time?" or "What understanding would help me navigate my current relationship challenge?" Once your query is formulated, release it into the field by visualizing it as a pulse of light traveling through the indigo tunnel from your third eye into the Akashic field. Then enter a state of alert receptivity, not actively seeking or analyzing, but remaining perfectly attentive to whatever emerges. This is the most challenging aspect of the process for most practitioners. The modern mind is conditioned for constant activity, thinking, questioning, doubting, interpreting. Akashic communication requires a different mode of consciousness, one that ancient traditions called knowing without thinking. Step 4. Receiving Akashic communication. As you maintain this state of directed receptivity, information will begin to flow from the Akashic field into your consciousness. This communication can take multiple forms: visual impressions, scene symbols, or images that appear in your mind's eye, auditory messages, words, phrases, or sounds that you hear internally, kinesthetic knowing, physical sensations that carry specific meanings or insights, conceptual downloads, entire packages of understanding that unfold in your awareness without words or images, emotional transmissions, feelings that convey complex information beyond verbal expression. The key is to receive without immediately analyzing. Allow the communication to flow in its natural form before engaging your interpretive faculties. Most people block Akashic communication by trying to understand it while it's still arriving, which disrupts the delicate frequency alignment necessary for continued transmission. Step 5. Integration and verification. After receiving Akashic communication, you must properly integrate and verify the information to distinguish genuine higher intelligence from imagination or subconscious projection. End your session by saying, "I now complete this communion with the Akashic field. I integrate all received wisdom into my conscious awareness. I express gratitude for this divine communication. I gently close the gateway while maintaining the connection." Visualize the indigo tunnel gradually closing as your awareness returns fully to your physical form. Take 3 deep breaths and slowly open your eyes. Immediately record everything you received, whether it seemed significant or not, whether you understood it or not. This immediate recording is crucial, as Akashic communications often fade quickly from ordinary waking memory. Then apply these 3 verification criteria to distinguish authentic Akashic communication from other mental phenomena. First, authentic Akashic information carries a distinct quality of resonance, a feeling of rightness or recognition that transcends intellectual understanding. Second, genuine communications often contain information beyond your current knowledge, insights, perspectives, or data that your personal mind couldn't have generated. Third, true Akashic wisdom has practical application. It illuminates your path forward in tangible ways rather than remaining abstract or purely philosophical. As you practice this protocol regularly, your ability to access the records and communicate with higher intelligence will strengthen and clarify. The initial experiences might be subtle or fleeting, but with consistent practice the connection becomes increasingly vivid, detailed, and reliable. Now, let me address some common challenges and their solutions. If you experience difficulty maintaining the vibrational state necessary for Akashic access, Incorporate regular energy practices into your daily routine, meditation, qigong, or specific frequency-raising techniques that strengthen your capacity to hold higher vibrational states. If you find your mind constantly analyzing or questioning during the reception phase, practice what Zen traditions call beginner's mind, approaching each session with fresh openness and suspended judgment. If you struggle to distinguish between Akashic communication and your own thoughts, develop your discernment through consistent journaling and verification of the information received. Over time, you'll recognize the distinct signature of higher intelligence compared to personal thinking. Remember, accessing the Akashic Records isn't about escaping your human experience or bypassing your personal responsibility. It's about expanding your consciousness to include wisdom beyond individual limitation, allowing higher intelligence to inform and elevate your human journey rather than replace it. The most profound benefit of this practice isn't the specific information you receive, though that can be extraordinarily valuable. It's the gradual transformation of your consciousness as you regularly commune with higher intelligence. Your perception expands, your awareness deepens, your intuition sharpens, your compassion grows. You begin to experience reality not just from your limited personal perspective, but from the vast interconnected viewpoint of universal consciousness. This is the true purpose of Akashic communication, not merely to access information, but to evolve your being through direct communion with the infinite intelligence that permeates all existence. Begin this practice today. Start with short sessions, perhaps 10 to 15 minutes, and gradually extend as your capacity develops. Be patient with yourself. Like any profound skill, Akashic communication develops through consistent practice and experience. The gateway to infinite intelligence is always open. The wisdom of the universe is always available. The higher consciousness is always communicating. The only question is, are you listening? If you found this method valuable, I invite you to explore my video, The 3-Minute Morning Ritual, that's being erased from modern knowledge, where I reveal a powerful practice that perfectly complements Akashic record access by preparing your consciousness each day for higher dimensional communication. Share in the comments your experience with accessing the Akashic records. What insights have you received? What challenges have you encountered? Your experience might help others on their journey of connecting with higher intelligence.